Well, hello and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Amy Van Meel. I'm delighted to be here with you today. It's a gorgeous sunny day in Calgary today, and the smoke has cleared from the sky, and I am loving it. I also did one heck of a core workout this morning, which gives me those lovely rippling six-pack abs. So feeling pleased with myself so far today, which is great. So this is the third episode in the series of 10 that I am working on, which is all based on the book, The Right Questions. I'd recommend, I think it's episode 89. Go back and have a listen to that if you want to kind of get a sense of what prompted this whole series. But yeah, we're going to just dive into today's question. So the question that we're talking about today from the book is, will this choice bring me long-term fulfillment, or will it bring me short-term gratification? So this is a question that I think typically is sort of surrounded with a sense of guilt. Shame can definitely play a factor in how we're answering this question or thinking about this question as well. And I want to see if we can shift our filter around the question and around the context so that we can actually leverage this question of insight in a healthier and more supportive way. So I think historically, if we kind of think about, the balancing, is this going to help me get to where I'm going, or is this just going to make me happy in the moment? I know, at least for me, like I felt a lot of guilt, and I'm probably going to use a lot of shopping and buying metaphors for this particular topic because it feels so tangible. And I think probably most of us have a ton of lived experiences with that. And this is a really, I say easy, but like carefully, it's a really useful space and easily accessible space, I suppose, for us to like play with this question and see if we can move ourselves into the direction where we want to go. So let's say, for example, actually I'm going to use a t-shirt that I just bought. So like last week, I think I was looking up something related to my job, and I saw this super cute t-shirt. It's bright pink, and it says "Lover's Gonna Love" on it. And I was like, ooh, I love it. It was on sale, including shipping. Now this is wild to me. I could get the t-shirt delivered to my house for less than $20. All right. It literally was $19.45, including tax and shipping. It was wild. It was on sale. It was whatever. And I've bought from this place before. The caveat that I was kind of getting stuck on was two things. One, I had just been having a bit of a heart-to-heart with myself about my money goals and how I'm getting there, and like kind of looking back at, okay, where am I sending my money flow to, and is it supporting me? And also, this t-shirt only came in an extra small, and I was like, I think it's cute as hell. I think maybe I can fit it, but like, it's a huge question mark. Now, in truth, logical mind me feels like I spent way too much time thinking about whether or not to buy a $19 t-shirt, right? But I wanted to be mindful. I want to be every day making more conscious and intentional decisions with where I'm sending my money and how I'm using money in my life. I'm not really about things, so I'm not constantly buying clothes or constantly buying shoes or whatever else. They just don't bring me the same joy that they used to. But as I was debating this purchase, I was trying to think of, okay, is this going to bring me short-term gratification? Like, in the moment, am I happy when I receive it? Will I feel happy when I wear it? What happens if it doesn't fit, right? Because it is an extra small. Is it going to fit? I don't know. I feel like yes, but I don't know. Or is it going to, long-term kind of give me little moments of joy? And this was a huge thing that really helped me understand my spending several years ago. So some amount of time ago, because I don't actually remember how long, it's been a while now. It's probably been like 5 to 6 years, maybe more. But I was, oh my God, like broke, feeling broke. Everything around me pointed to the fact of being broke. And everything that I knew and everything that I was being really fed through, well, social media, magazines, and conversations and everything else was, if you feel broke, go out and do something that, like, you know, embody that state of being wealthy. Like, what would you do if you were wealthy? So I was like, well, what would I do if I was wealthy? Well, if I fucking had money, then I would go buy something, right? Because then I wouldn't be worried about the money. This is faulty logic, so follow me all the way through. And I remember, I don't know if this store exists only in Canada, but there's a store called HomeSense, which has just a phenomenal range of household items, beautiful decor, like kind of everything. And it's a reasonable quality, and it's always stunning. And I would be in the store and I'd be holding some, I'm just going to say knickknack because it could be anything really, and go, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I think I put this in my office and it would feel so good. And like, you know, it really helped me embody that millionaire energy that I want to get into having, and blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, it's only $40. So like, that's fine. We can totally do this and blah, blah, blah. I'd bring it home, put it in my office or on the shelf or whatever, wherever it was that I thought I was going to use this. But I would actually spend the rest of the day, the rest of the week, feeling bad about this purchase, feeling like I had let myself down. All the stories would go crazy in my head about, this is why I'm not moving forward. I'm not good with money. I'm, you know, blah, 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 blah. And instead of feeling that embodiment of that wealthy state that I was hoping and sort of had projected onto this item, I was feeling quite the opposite. And I couldn't figure out why. It took me so long. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I'm doing these things and I think that it's aligned with where I want to go, but then I bring it home and I just feel fucking guilty about it. Now, one of the big things that I healed along the way was the tie and the pull of guilt. I worked with a coach in that particular case to release that, and it was a huge door opening into my life. It was amazing. But what I started to, as I was learning more about money, and as I was learning more about myself and understanding some of the programming and everything that we are sort of inbuilt with and then, you know, overly socialized when we're out in the world, was that I was approaching the decision from the wrong energy. What I started to do, instead of asking the question of like, is this going to help me feel aligned into this version of me that I'm becoming? You know, instead of kind of reasoning it away as, okay, but like wealthy Amy, like she wouldn't fucking care about the price tag. So she would just go fucking buy the thing and she'd feel amazing about it and like would just move on. Right? These questions, these reasonings were not helping me, and they were actually having quite the detrimental effect. So then I started to shift the question because I noticed something else. I noticed a pattern that I would purchase an item, I would bring it home, and even if I didn't have the like deep dramatic, you know, feeling guilty and all the rest of it happening afterwards, more often than not, it became something that I was like, okay, I don't actually know what to do with this now, or this isn't quite what I thought it would be, or it's, you know, it's not, whatever. Like it just, the ideas that I had behind it when I purchased it, when I brought it home, I'm like, And I would start to, any day that I feel annoyed, I feel like this is a great energy to clean from. If you're feeling like frustrated or angry, I clean. So it could be just that I'm cleaning a bathroom if that's all that needs to happen. But it's a great time for purging, just going through your closets, your pantries, your spaces, your bookcases, you're everywhere, and just like going, okay, are these things actually raising me or not? And I noticed that there was a lot of things that I'd bought over the years that were just collecting dust. And I noticed that like gifts that people would give me, trinkets or whatever, they just sit there collecting dust. I couldn't remember who gave it to me. I had no specific memory of things or attachment to things. And I started just giving things away. I would donate them constantly, just like getting rid of them, clearing the energy out. And as I started to kind of look at all these patterns, I realized, okay, so not only does buying this thing not actually give me that long-term gratification or that long-term fulfillment, that I'm thinking it will, in the medium term, it's actually cluttering up my house. So what I did was I shifted to, I would go out shopping, whether it was with a friend or I just wanted to, look around or whatever. And I would, if I saw an item that I really liked, I would take a moment and imagine it in the space in my house and go, okay, is it actually lifting the space up? Is it something that in a month from now, am I still going to be happy that I bought it? Or am I kind of not really going to care whether I have it or not? Right? And that really helped to start to shift my mind and my energy around those purchases. It wasn't coming from, can I afford this? Right? Because that's a really disempowering question. It wasn't coming from, is this going to help me embody the version of me I want to become? Because that was not a supportive question for me. It was coming from this really empowered focus of like, okay, so I can make the choice to purchase this if I wanted to. So let's walk down that path. Let's say I do buy it, I take it home. What's it going to do? Is it actually going to be helpful, useful? Is it something that I actually even really need? And if not, am I okay with letting it go? And like 98, probably 99% of the time, the answer was usually, I actually don't really need or want this. I think it's beautiful. I can appreciate it from here. And, hopefully somebody else enjoys it. I'm moving on. And the beautiful thing was, not once did I go home, feel guilty that I didn't buy it, feel like I was missing out. I didn't have this crazy, heavy mental weight of this decision that I had made earlier in the day or earlier in the week. It was just done. I felt good about the decision and I moved on. So when we think about the question of is this going to bring me long-term fulfillment or short-term gratification? If that question, your knee-jerk is this feeling of shame or guilt, or you feel like someone's judging you, right? How can you adjust the filter of that question so that it's supportive of where you are and where you want to go? And it might need to take some time to play with it, right? Kind of figure out, okay, so how do I, if it is, for example, that you're wanting to not control your spending, but you're wanting to change how you're using money. So maybe the story of having all of these things that you're picking up for your office, your house, or whatever is really resonating for you. And maybe your things is clothes, maybe it's snacks, maybe it's tools, maybe it's accessories for your car, maybe it's garden gnomes, I don't know. Whatever the thing is that you feel like, fuck, I spent a lot of money on that thing. But you've been reasoning it away. And then later on, you feel either bad about buying it or you're just like, okay, I don't actually need this and this isn't actually helping me. So how can you adjust at the moment of seeing it in the store? Adjust your questions so that you're not shaming yourself, right? If you can neutralize that whole experience from, okay, I need to buy this thing because if I don't, it will prove that I don't have money, or if I don't, then I'm not going to be happy, or whatever, right? But you neutralize that entirely and just go, okay, I'm presented with a choice. Neither choice is bad, right? We want to take this whole idea of right and wrong off the table. Neither choice is a bad choice. Neither one is the right choice or the wrong choice. It is simply a choice. All right. So we're neutralizing that right at the foundation. So now from this neutral space, you can look at this item, whatever the thing is, and go, okay, is this something that, like, if I imagine myself a month down the road from this, is it still going to feel good? Is it going to feel joyful? Is it going to be useful? Is it going to fit? Is it, whatever. Do I need the thing? Actually, not like, oh my God, I need it, but like, do I actually need the thing? This is something that I love to ask anytime I'm considering buying an outfit. So I'm turning 40 in a couple of weeks, which is blowing my friggin' mind because, I do not feel like I have been around long enough to be turning 40. Like, I'm kind of like, does someone need to approve this? Because I don't feel like I've been here long enough to do that. But I decided finally that I was going to throw a little birthday party and it was going to be glitter themed because this girl, like, I swear that my blood runs with glitter. Like, it just, I'm such a fan of sparkly things. I'm a total magpie. So I decided, you know what? I think the last birthday party I threw for myself was my champagne birthday, which was 9 years ago. So that was a long ass time ago. And I thought, you know what? I want to have a look for like some sequin pants. So I did a search, I found a couple things, and then just went through, okay, how are the reviews? How are the blah, blah, blah. When I had it down to the short list, I was debating between two different items. And I easily could have bought both. Like, I could have bought both. They would have, so one was a full outfit, one was a pair of cute pants. It would have been under $100 for both, which anybody who deals in women's fashions know that would be a fucking screaming deal, right? We know this. But the last question I asked myself as I was looking at what I had in the cart, coming from this neutral space, was, okay, there's no right or wrong choice here. Do I actually desire to own both or either of these? Because it's also possible that I actually don't want either one. I just kind of got enamored in this idea and thought that'll be amazing, and then here I am buying something. If I do want whatever, however many of them, what feels good and what's going to feel good down the road? Like, what am I actually going to wear some of these things again, or am I just going to kind of throw away money for this one-time thing that, like, then I spend the next however long it sits in my closet and I never ever wear it again? And with that filter, I was able to look at one of the pieces and went, actually, you know what? That one doesn't give me as much joy. I don't feel like that one is actually going to be something I'm going to wear that often. But this other one I could use in a bunch of different ways. And it seems fun and it's exciting. And more importantly, it kind of like has this badass, fabulous, sort of sexy vibe that I really feel like I'm coming into as I'm growing into and stepping into this next level version of myself. By the time I was all said and done, I was able to get a discount, which was super cool. I was able to buy this outfit for less than $60, which is, again, ladies, right? Like, basically nothing. But it's fun, and it's light, and it's a purchase that didn't feel heavy, and I haven't spent the rest of the day, worrying about it or stressing about it. And even though, if we sort of pull back and go, okay, so we're a little concerned about finances based on the goals that we're working on, is spending this $60 in this way the best use of money? Again, there is no right or wrong. And what I've been finding is by having that particular filter in place, it's actually creating a lot of emotion that's not helpful. Whereas if I instead shift the filter to go, okay, so in the short term, yeah, could be fun. But in the long term, like, is this something that I would use again? Like, could I wear it again? Would it be fun to wear it again? Or am I going to look at this in a year or two and be like, Amy, what the fuck were you thinking? Right? And those added filters really helped to take the emotion out of the purchase and allow me to go, I actually think this is going to be a ton of fun. Let's do it. Off we go. So I'm hopeful that that adds a little bit of sort of context and color behind this question of, will this choice bring me long-term fulfillment or will it bring me short-term gratification? So as you're practicing and playing with this question, if you find that you're feeling guilt or shame or judged or whatever, that is a really good starter cue for you to go, wait a minute, I need to ask the question differently because this framing of the question is not helping me. It's not serving me. So go back to that neutral foundation. There is no right or wrong choice, right? It doesn't matter whether I choose A or choose B. In the long run, it's not going to matter. I actually am going to say this for large decisions as well. I realize that larger decisions will have some ramifications long term, but if you can approach them with the idea of like, there's no right or wrong, they are just a choice, then that can take some of that emotional charge away. All right. As we're about to finish, I do just want to say that this podcast, this particular episode is sponsored by the ultimate course on manifesting more joy into your life. If you are tired of feeling stuck in a rut and you're searching for something that can bring some happiness into your life, this course is designed to help you uncover the secrets of manifesting more joy and happiness in, and most importantly, to keep it consistently. I will say you're going to have some down days because we are humans and that happens, but you will find over and over and over that your joy will grow, your happiness and your fulfillment will grow. Say goodbye to your negativity, all those not helpful thoughts. We'll show you, I'm going to show you how to adjust those and start to move in the direction that you want to have, where you have a life feeling more positive and abundant, because it is friggin' time to feel more joy in your life. Ooh, the world needs more of it. We need more happy people. We need more joy. We need more of this in the world. So enroll today and start living a life full of positivity and abundance. This is what happens when I detour from what I had written down. Wait a minute, where am I going next? Enroll today. Head on over to amyvanmeel.com/joy to sign up. Again, that's amyvanmeel.com/joy to sign up for manifesting a million moments of joy. All right. I will add the link into the show notes, of course, so that you can find it, click on it easily. If you are in Canada and thinking about the course, hit me up with it on the Instagrams. I am at Amy Van Meel. I will also link that in the show notes. I have a special little discount code for our Canadian friends. All right. With that, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you next week with the number 4 episode in this series of 10. Mwah! Bye.